Namo Namaste Gurave Mahatmani Vimukta Sangaya Saduttamaya Nityadvayananda Rasaswarupini Bhumni Sada Paradayam Budhamni Namaste, Namaste, Vibho Vishwamurte. Namaste, Namaste, Chidanandamurte. Namaste, Namaste, Tapoyogagamya. Namaste, Namaste, Shruti Jnanagamya. Swarajya Samrajya Vibhutiresha Bhavat Kripa Shri Mahima Prasadat Prapta Maya Shri Gurave Mahatmani Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namastasmai Sadaikasmai Kasmai Chinmahase Namaha Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate. Hari, that's Jai Guru. So we started from to understand a little more in detail how we get bound to the worldliness. Here again a correction is there. We don't get bound to the world, but we get bound by our worldliness. The world remains as it is. After knowledge or after becoming free also, the world is not going to change. We get bound because the worldliness in our mind. So the change is never in the world but in our own mind. So Bhagavad Gita particularly points out that all the bondage comes because of some preferential clinging and hatred we develop, raga dvesha or sangha. We cling to what we like and we hate what we dislike. That is the fundamental reason for our getting bound to the worldliness, the world actions very much. So we have studied how the Sattva Guna binds, how the Rajo Guna binds, how the Tamo Guna binds. The Triguna Model is for entire nature, that the whole creation is made of three gunas. They are the characteristics or modes, you can say. It's a good model which describes the whole creation. And because our personality is a product of nature, it is also made of the three gunas. But the three gunas themselves as such are not bad. They are all necessary. Without the tamoguna we cannot sleep, we cannot rest. Without the rajoguna we cannot function. Energy will not be there. Without the sattvaguna we will not know anything. So there is no question of not having any of the gunas. All the three gunas we need. We have to only look into the bondage created by the gunas. That how Tamoguna is creating bondage, binding us to certain tendencies. How Rajoguna is creating bondage, and how finally the Sattva Guna is also creating bondage. So one who transcends all these bondages, one who can get liberated from these bondages. How will you get liberated? Again, we will take recourse to the three gunas, application of the three gunas themselves, because our personality is made of them. We don't have anything else available to us. As far as the real identity we have, our Atma as we refer, or our real identity, that is never getting bound by anything at all. But we feel that I am getting bound because we have shifted our identity from our real identity to the body-mind personality identity. Actually, I am the seer, the knower of our body-mind personality. When we understand this very well, we realize this, then what happens is that body-mind personality will undergo the changes of the gunas. But we will not feel that I am not able to tolerate this, I am suffering, or I get very elated by whatever is happening to my liking. So we can get over the bondages created by the gunas. Even then also we will have all the three gunas. For a knower also, as long as his body-mind personality is existing in the world, it cannot be without the three gunas. This we should understand very well. Otherwise it will be confusing. So what you have to do is to overcome the bondages created by them. So the simple method, the gist of what we learnt is, first we have to overcome all the three gunas. They work against each other. So Sattva guna is prakasha, or revealer. It is the knowledge revealing power. Rajo guna is energy, but it opposes the wholesome knowledge of the Sattva guna. Sattva guna always illuminates us with the unity in diversity, the ultimate truth, one truth as substratum of the whole multifarious universe. Whereas Rajo guna, it is rising from a differential vision. Rajo ragatmakam vidhi, I had explained. Raga means color. So Rajo guna is coming from applying different color to the world, not seeing the world as it is. That means, what is the color? Either it is I like, this I do not like. The likes and dislikes, this color we apply on the world. Or it is me and mine, or it is others. These are the colors which propels us to desire motivated activity. In activity there is nothing wrong. The whole universe is tremendously, unimaginably active. We cannot even think of how the galaxies are getting born, some are getting into the black holes, the earth is going around the sun. Even just the earth going around the sun also, the amount of energy and all, we cannot even imagine the kind of activities that are going on. But in this whole activity, it is all natural, there is no desire at all. That is why it continues without any problem. So, what we have to do also is to become like that, to eliminate the likes and dislikes elements from our personality and the desire motivation. How will you remove the desire? By knowing that desires are redundant. I have given so many examples, explain also. Knowing that they are redundant, automatically they will fall, they will not be there. So we will also, as the earth is moving around the sun, as the river is flowing towards the sea, as the plants are growing, as the flowers are blossoming, there is nowhere any desire necessary. Like that, our body-mind personality will also be functioning in this world with whatever capacities, whatever the guna functions it has, whatever capacity it has, whatever the need of the surroundings, according to that it will go on working. And as we know that working, because it is in harmony with nature, such a person works tremendously, more than 10 people's work. Swamiji always says that I have done more than what 10 people could do. Can you imagine the kind of work Vivekananda did in his short life? Can you imagine the work Shankaracharya did in his short life? So it tunes us with infinity, it tunes us with nature's fundamental law, and the energy comes from nature. It is no more desire motivated energy, it is coming from nature, and the person goes on. Maybe the body will not always be able to take it, then he may fall sick also, but the mind will never be tired of doing. Our mind becomes tired because of the desire. Whenever the desire is not fulfilled or not fully satisfied, then we get depressed. All the depression is coming because of the desire only. It is desire and ego. Ego is also the same thing. We say that kartri bhoktri bhava, that I am doing something wrong or I am doing something great. This is the kartri bhava, doership. Another is I want to enjoy this. Even I want to enjoy the bliss in meditation. That is also bhoktri bhava. That I am different from the bliss I am having from the meditation. I am looking for that meditational bliss. This is also bhoktri bhava. Bhoktri bhava means the tendency to enjoy, that I want this enjoyment. So, when we are freed of that, then we become absolutely natural, we go on working. In this 14th chapter, they will discuss these, how such a person will behave in the world. That is also there towards the end. It is called Gunatita Lakshana. See, in Bhagavad Gita, many of the chapters have got these characteristics. They are more or less same. In second chapter, we have Sthita Prajna Lakshana. That is a person who has become stabilized, stable in his mind and consciousness. How will he behave? Then in chapter 12, we have Bhakta Lakshanas. That is, if we call a person is a devotee, what are the characteristics of his behavioral characteristics? So anybody can look into himself and judge whether I am a devotee or not. Why should we assume that I am a great devotee? You read chapter 12 and find out how many of the qualities we have. Then you will know where I am. It is not to judge other people, that whether the other person I am talking to or I am mixing with, whether he is a devotee or not. That you may try to do, never you will understand. It is not for judging others. All the lakshanas are given to judge our own self, where I am and what more to be done, where to go, where not to go, etc. Similarly, in 13th chapter, they have given jnana lakshana. That is, who is a knower? Very clearly stated. After stating all the 20 qualities, they have said, Etad jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yadato nyatha. These conglomeration assembly of 20 qualities, it called knowledge. It is not just knowing from the Vedas or Upanishads that I am infinite, I am transcendental, I am the one Atma, transcendental Atma. You may say 1,000 times, you will not become that Atma. When you actually identify with that universal truth, then your behavior will be different. Your life, at least your vision will be completely different. Inner vision as well as external behavior, there will be changes. So, those 20 qualities after saying, they are saying this is called jnana and whatever else is ajnana, is ignorance. Etad jnanam iti proktam, ajnanam yadato anyatha. All other things are ajnana. How emphatic, categorical statement they have made. Before talking about those lakshanas, they have said that kshetra is the body, mind, personality. And one who knows the kshetra is called kshetrajna. That means the knower of the kshetra, knower of the field. Field is the body, mind, personality, where we have to work. Any transformation we don't need to do anything for the Atma. Atma remains Atma. It is not an objective element that you can change it. It never undergoes any change. Whatever changes we have to make, it is to the body, mind, personality. The mind is suffering from the cloud of ignorance. The intelligence is suffering basically from the cloud of ignorance, and accordingly the mind is showing the different emotions, constricted emotions. So the changes have to be brought in the field. And I who know the field is called kshetrajna, the knower of the field. Now we may think that, oh, I know my body-mind complex, I am the subject, I am the viewer, knower of my body-mind complex, so I am kshetrajna. But immediately the next sentence says, kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. He says that know me to be the knower of all the fields, not only my body-mind personality field. What does it mean? Naturally, the I we know of, the knower we know of, that is not the real knower they are referring to. That is not knowledge. So saying that, naturally a reader will have the constriction there. That what does it mean then? That Kshetrajna is only one, whereas Kshetras are unlimited, millions of Kshetrajna. The fields are unlimited variety, but Kshetrajna is only one. How can it be true? So he said, it will not be true for you. I may say even in second chapter also he has said that to make it true. But these knowledge, whatever behavioral, the 20 qualities he has enumerated after that, if you have that, then automatically you will have that universal vision. You will be identifying with the transcendental I. So that is why after enumeration of the 20 qualities, he says, Etad jnanam iti proktam. This is called jnana. Not the theoretical knowledge of knowing what is Atma, but this is what is jnana. Ajnanam yadato anyatha. All other things you can call ajnana. Even the knowledge of Vedas, knowledge of Upanishads, if they are not making you like this, they are ajnana. They are bigger ajnana, because you have read everything, but it is remaining ajnana. So, then again, that is up in 13th chapter. Then again here in 14th chapter, they are enumerating the qualities, the characteristics of a Trigunatita, Gunatita uchyate. So like that, it is enumerating the different qualities. But if you go into it, you will find that they are more or less same. In some places 24 qualities, some places 20 qualities. But when you really go into it, you will find in the YouTube, perhaps, I am not sure, 13th chapter we had put once. There each quality mentioned, that each of the 20 quality, I have linked to them that the peak of that quality means the Atma, nothing else. The ultimate transcendental Atma. That is the quality. Why are they saying that this assembly of the qualities is called jnana? It is because of that. You take it to its peak, that what is the Parakashta in Sanskrit we say. What is the ultimate level, the peak level of this quality? It is the Atma only. So I have taken to various shlokas of 18th chapter to explain what are the gunas, characteristics and all. And there is a chart which I think I showed in the morning perhaps, no? The 4 pages chart is there where we have enumerated this Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. See, Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna. Now the color is according to that. We tried to picture it a little. Tamo guna means darkness, Rajo guna means activity, so red, and Sattva guna is light. But if you just keep white, it will not be seen, so we have given a golden color. So the definition properties prakasha, pravritti, moha. Prakasha means light, it means knowledge, light, consciousness. Pravritti means the tendency to get involved in work. And moha means delusion, that is ignorance. Under the cover of ignorance, whatever we do, that is a deluded work. Then binding effect. Each has the binding effect. Sattva guna is binding to, see, always this binding will come with the sangha. Without the sangha, there is no binding. Sukha sangha. If you have sukha, that is the feeling of blissfulness or whatever. It is not so. But if you cling to that, then it becomes sukha sangha. As such, sukha, there is nothing wrong. But if you cling to any kind of sukha, that is wrong. Sukha sangha. A good food you can enjoy, that is fine. But if you cannot control yourself seeing the good food, then it is sukha sangha corresponding. That is why we have all these acharas that before food we take the water, we chant some mantra, that parishechana it is called. Why are all these things? Otherwise, some food is given. The moment you see something is good, it is prevented, that you cannot behave animalish way. You have to be human being. And what a human being does, everything he, by his mind, by his intelligence, he takes everything to a sublime dimension, whether his body, mind, personality, everything will be benefited. We are doing that Bhojana Pavitrikarana, it is only for that. That before taking food, we have to bring our body, mind, personality in a placid state. If you just take out of greed, out of likes and dislikes, then you will not take properly, you will not take the proper food also. Something attractive to your tongue, you will take. That is why we end up cooking with so much of spices and all, which are harmful to the body. So, this Sangha is the main problem. Jnana Sangha. Is Jnana bad? We are always trying, we are only having Jnana here. Here we are, what are we doing? We are trying to have some Jnana, but if you develop Sangha to the Sattvika Jnana also, which is the unity in diversity, no division at all, non-divisional, which is the highest of knowledge, which we rarely have. But even that also, in the last stage of sadhana, we develop a clinging to that knowledge. That we are, suppose we are reading the Shastras, or we are writing something about the truth, or we are chanting, or we are meditating. All these are knowledge we are practicing. But if we cling to that, that is not the way. Then we will get bound by that. We have to get over all the bondages created by everything in the world. I told you about Swamiji that he was given to meditation always. Meditation means it's not that he was having samadhi right from the beginning. But he used to enjoy going into the samadhi. He used to remain in meditation for a long time. So when they came to the ashram, that ashram was established, the cottage was established. He was meditating one day, as usual, hours together he used to meditate. And a villager came for some support or something. And he did not know. It is just like the Shamika Maharshi when Raja Parikshit came, and he got so annoyed that he put the snake on his neck. So, he was not able to get out. He knew, he is knowing that somebody is calling, but he was not able to get over the meditation. Finally he got up and he looked into. But that day, he says that day he decided that no further meditation. What is there in meditation? Every day I am going to the same thing, the same blissful sensation and coming back. What is the point in that? So no more meditation. So people are not able to get over the bondage so easily. As he did that, it struck and he got over the bondage. This is the nature of a seeker, a real seeker. Suppose you are given some drink, you are about to take. Somebody tells that don't drink it, there is poison in it. Will you drink or we will leave it? Will you still drink that somebody has doubted that there is poison in it? You will not. But in other cases, when you know also it is harmful, why are you not able to take it? That is the non-seeker attitude. That is, we are not able to change. Because of the poison you will not take, knowing because you will die immediately. But if it is a slow poison like smoking or liquor or anything, then you will take. How long I am living? At least another year let me take. So that is not the way. The seeker's way is to that moment we understand that this will take me away from the goal. That is enough for him to leave it right there and then. So, Sukha Sangha, Jnana Sangha. Similarly, Rajas is Karma Sangha. Tamas is Pramada, Alasya, Nidra. All these things, pramada means inattention. That means mental inertia. Now, pramada, what is the sangha to pramada? Because we like to be inattentive. You look into your mind how many minutes of the whole day you are attentive. Doctors have to say, while doing surgery perhaps they are attentive. That also sometimes the attention may go. Is it not? And others, where there is no danger of the patient dying, they are blissfully inattentive. Even if he falls on the conveyor belt, sometimes he will not know. If he is working in some conveyor belt, the machine is going, he is sleeping. He has to put his item at the right point in the right time. Otherwise he will be sad, so he does it. Otherwise he would have been inattentive. So everywhere we are not attentive. Most of the time our mind is not working. Our intelligence is not working. So inattention is because of the Tamo Guna. So if you take sattvika food, sattvika nature and all, if you follow, you will find that such inattention is not coming. When sleep is needed, you will sleep. Getting up, you will be doing whatever to be done. That inattentive state will not be there generally. So pramada means mental lethargy, mental inertia. Alasya means lethargy, that is physical. But lethargy can be mental also, it is same. Like pramada is coming from mental lethargy, but generally we refer to the physical lethargy as alasya. And nidra is both mind and body all are sleeping. Nidra means sleep. Both mind and body are not functioning. Now, do you develop sangha to sleep? Yes, there are people who develop sangha to sleep. They will sleep much more than what is needed. They don't want to get up. Our Ma's brother was there. He used to sleep, and in the hostel, he had a cycle. So his friend will come to get the ride on the cycle. So both of them together would go to he was studying in IIT Delhi. So both of them will go from the hostel to in the same class in the cycle. So they were having exams. The morning the other boy came and called him that we have this exam today. He would get up only when that boy calls. That was the deal, that I will take you in the cycle, but you have to come and call me in time. So when the other boy said that today there is exam, he simply looked at him and said that the examination has been cancelled. So this boy also went back and slept in his room. So both of them slept and missed the exam. This boy, Ma's brother, just like that, he said that exam has been cancelled because he doesn't want to get up from sleep. It came later on, he must have repented that, why did I do this? So there will be clinging to everything like that. Yesterday I gave so many examples of our ashram, that holding on the pillow and again sleeping when there is a crisis. Yesterday we have taken many examples. So it is like that. Everything, there are a lot of things. I will just read that sukha. Sukha also has got sattvika, rajasa and tamasa. Sattvika sukha is initially not pleasant, later nectarine, leads to prasada. That is, earlier also I said, it is that kind of a higher level sukha, it needs certain discipline in the beginning. Suppose you want the meditational sukha. So you have to learn meditation, practice meditation, then only. If you want a fit body, then you have to learn the corresponding exercises, yoga or whatever, so that you can enjoy the proper blissfulness. If you want mental, various kinds of sukha, correspondingly you have to do many things, many exercises. People, whatever we say, the last remark will be from the listeners will be that, oh, it is difficult. So I feel like asking that in your, what are you? Oh, I am a doctor. How many years did you spend for learning your medicine and all? How many years? Say medicine or surgery will be 12 years, 13 years, 14 years. So here, how much of time, forget about years, how many days, how many hours you have spent on this that you are saying it difficult? How can you say that it is difficult without trying? So any sattvika sukha, it needs a certain amount of discipline and work to take you to that. Then Rajasa Sukha is just the reverse. Initially nectarine to the senses because it is pleasant to the senses. But if you follow that, in many cases the after effect will not be good. If you are given to Sangha, then otherwise it's okay. Something soothing food or soothing vision or anything, that is fine. But if you cling to that, then there is a problem. And tamasa sukha it is deluding from the beginning because they don't think, they don't have a proper analysis or anything. So they remain in the ignorance, and there they get the joy. I had one uncle who used to smoke maybe some 80 or 70 cigarettes a day and sleep about 20 hours a day. Except food and all, he would not do anything. That's an extreme example of tamasa sukha, but there are a little less with all of us, something is there. Now comes the ahara. This is in 17th chapter. So let us do this. 17.8, 8 and 9, 8, 9, 10. 17th chapter, shloka 8, 9, 10. In Chandogya Upanishad, there is a statement that Narada was a great saint who used to move around in all the worlds. You must have read in Puranas and all. In Chandogya Upanishad, Narada's case is being considered that he was moving around everywhere. So one day he happened to meet two very young Sanat Kumaraha. They were the knowers, young age knowers, brahmacharyans. So seeing them, Narada felt very happy that by fortune I have come across this. So he begged Sanat Kumara that you tell me something, give me some advice, because you know the truth. You tell me about how I should live and all. Give me some advice, that was the statement. Then Sanat Kumara said that if I have to give you some useful advice, I have to know first what you know. You have to tell me what you know, then only I can give you advice. Then Narada says that all that full paragraph I don't remember, all the 4 Vedas, the 6 Vedangas, all the Upanishads, all the other Vidyas like black magic, white magic, warrior, that Dhanurvidya, Ayurveda, there is nothing in this world that he did not know, because he was always going around and learning from people. So he knew everything. A full paragraph is given in the Chandogya Upanishad that I know all these things. But the paragraph ends with Mantravidoham asmi natu atmavid tarati shokam atmavid. After saying, he says, but I am only a mantravid. Mantravid means theoretical knowledge. I have learnt all the Vedas, I can recite all the Vedas, but what for the Vedas are written the truth? That I have not realized. Natu atmavid. I have not known myself. I have not known the truth. But Narada was openly saying, all of us will not generally even confess that. Is it not? We will be happy if somebody else says that, are you not a self-knower? Oh, maybe, it's okay. Happily taken. So Narada said that I am a mantravid, I know everything, but natu atmavid. I am not known. I don't know the real truth for which all these shastras are written. How did you know that you don't know the Atma? He said, Tarati Shokam Atmavid. Because it is said in the shastras that a person who knows the truth, who knows his own self, he will not have grief, depression. He will not have depression or grief. But I have grief. Whatever I see in the world, I suffer so much. I have depression, grief, everything. So I don't know. Then Sanat Kumara starts his Upadesha. The Chandogya puts it in this manner. Then, that is Upadesha means Chandogya Upanishad will have only Atma Upadesha, about the Atma. So he starts after that. And in that, in the beginning itself, beginning means a few shlokas later, mantras later, he says, Ahara Shuddhau Sattva Shuddhi. Sanat Kumara says, Ahara Shuddhau Sattva Shuddhi. Sattva Shuddhau Dhruva Smriti. Smritilambhe Sarvagrantheenam Vipramoksha. It's a very famous statement. In many novels also we have found it has been quoted. He says, Ahara Shuddhau Sattva Shuddhi. Sattva means the essential elements of our being. You can say that mind, intelligence, etc., but it is the very basic element of our being. all the parts of the personality will be involved. He says how Sattva Shuddhi means the purity of the being. How the being becomes purified. Ahara Shuddha. Ahara means ahriyate iti. That means whatever we are taking in. But the one gross thing is the food we are taking. That is the gross ahara. But we are taking in through eyes, through the ears, whatever sound we are hearing, whatever visions or whatever internet we are seeing, whatever films we are seeing, then whatever stories we are reading, whatever conversation we are having with people, everything will be playing its role. They are all ahara. Suppose you call a person and start talking. Is it not that you are communicating with him and taking some input through that? So it will depend on what you are seeing, what you are reading, what you are thinking, what the people you are talking to. All this will be ahara for you. So ahara shuddha means try to purify all the inputs that we are taking throughout the day. By that our being will become purified. It's a very simple statement, because how you don't have to ask Swamiji anymore how to do it. Change your all ahara. Simplest thing. And when they change automatically, it is cumulative also. The more sattvika you become, you will start liking sattvika things. And those sattvika things will make you all the more sattvika. So you will like all the more sattvika things. So it builds up one over other, regenerative. The other term is what? Symbiotic. It doesn't come to my mind. Symbiotic. In science we call it regenerative. That is, we are cooling something, whatever is cooled, it again cooling, it circulates. Symbiotic is a better term. So, that is how one grows in all the gunas. Because, again a story is coming to my mind. When we were in Delhi earlier days, Swamiji used to be called to different houses. We used to go for house visits, which had stopped long back, maybe 20 years ago it has stopped. Earlier Swamiji used to go, along with Swamiji we also used to go. So once in Delhi we went to a very big businessman's house. They have 3 floors given to 3 children. No, 1 floor was for the parents and the 2 floors were for 2 sons. And the son had their wives also, daughter-in-law. They are the middle daughter-in-law, I think 3 plus 1, 4 stories, I have forgotten. The middle daughter-in-law had some problem. That the mother-in-law came and said that she is suffering from depression, and we saw also that she is very depressed, and they wanted their flat to be visited by Swamiji. They must be thinking of some punya, some auspicious, if the saint puts his feet, so that way they called. Now when we went there, we found that the daughter-in-law was already wearing black. And when we went to the room, we found that everything is black. The sofa is black, the bed cover is black, and on the wall, the full, everywhere, in the drawing room, in the bedroom, I think it is all by Gauguin, that a little, all very ghost-like appearances coming from the darkness. Those pictures, famous pictures, but they are all very scary and coming from the dark, everywhere dark and all. So naturally it was very well understood that she has completely surrounded herself by tamasa. Now maybe why did she do it? Because she has she is already tamasika. Tamasa tendency is that is why she has picked up those. But once she has picked up those and decorated her house by all those things, there is no way that she can get rid of the depression she is suffering from. So it is very simple. What she has to do is to first completely change and redecorate the whole house, whole flat. Put everything white, brilliant, light color, sattvika color, and everything so that happy. The photographs, all photographs should be changed and replaced by some delightful photographs. Many such things are there where it is either spiritually delightful or otherwise delightful. At least change that much. The whole house will become delightful. And in that her mind will be helped to change also. She will be able to come over that. But as I said, that a tamasika person will not listen. Even her in-laws also did not listen to that. We suggested that it has to be done. The first step is to change the ahara. If the ahara is changed, automatically there will be some change. And correspondingly you will have the feedback, the symbiotic effect also. But I don't think they have later on also changed. They did not. People don't listen to all these things. Even it is a simple method. For them, money is not a question at all. They are very, very big businessmen. But suffering. What is the point in having money? With so much of money, what is happening? But they don't listen, because with money the ego also will become bigger. These three beggars have come from nowhere. Who are they to suggest that you change everything? We have asked them only to put their feet in our house, not to suggest anything. Huh? So, that is what it is. Now, Ahara, I was doing that. You repeat when I chant. 17.8, 9, 10. Ayus sattva balarogya.
Ayus sattva balarogya.
Sukha priti vivardhana.
Sukha priti vivardhana.
Ayuh sattva balarogya.
Ayus sattva balarogya.
Sukha priti vivardhana.
Sukha priti vivardhana.
Rasya snigdha sthira hridya.
Rasya snigdha sthira hridya.
Ahara sattvika priyaha.
Ahara sattvika priyaha.
He says that ahara sattvika priyaha. This kind of food. Here it is mainly they have given food. It is true of other ahara also, but here it is food only. This kind of, but you can apply with a discrimination to other areas also. This kind of inputs are food. The sattvika people prefer. It is liked by the sattvika people. That means this is called a sattvika ahara. Now you will find here that whatever they have written about the food, it is not just the food. It is the reaction of the food on the body. How the body reacts to the food. For example, it should lead to ayuhu. Ayuhu means life. It is should provide us liveliness. Liveliness. It need not be always long. It can be long also. But when you are living, it should have enough of living energy. That life is by itself is a power. Sattva. Sattva means actually it has two meanings. One is that of which the element is, the body is made, that elements of the being. And it also means the urja, that is the inner strength. Sattva means inner strength and bala means the external strength, bodily strength. Sattva means when your body might be weak, but if you are given to lot of sattvika practices and spirituality and all, in spite of the weakness of the body, you will feel lot of urja inside, that kind of an inspiration inside. So sattva means the inner inspiration, inner strength. Lot of strength will be there in spite of the body being weak. Then bala. Bala means strength of the body. Then arogya. Arogya means not having diseases. Sukha means it should be a chitta prasada. Chitta prasada means a placidity of the mind. Sukha, because they are describing sattvika, again I will remind that whenever you are reading the sattvika, here they are saying sukha. So you go over to 18th chapter to find out what is sattvika sukha. That sukha will have to refer to here. So here sukha means a placidity of the mind. It is not just always merrily jumping, making jokes. It is not that kind. Placidity of the mind, peaceful, stable sukha. Preeti. Preeti means disposition of cheerful but an affectionate, loving disposition also. Preeti means actually affection. Normally, if you are too self-centered, you will not take interest in people. Somebody passing by also, you will not take any interest. You will be always closed up personality. But Sattvika Guna is not like that. A person may become a scholarly person, always reading the Shastras and all, but if he has not have enough of Sattva Guna, then he will not take interest in people. He will do whatever he is doing. So Preeti has got an orientation, an affectionate orientation of taking interest in others. That kind of a disposition. So Sattvika Ahara will increase all these things. They will give a proper life force in you, generate inner strength, physical strength also, free from disease, and placidity of the mind, and an affectionate, cheerful disposition, interested in everything, Preeti. Then the second line comes, Rasyaha snigdhaha sthira hridya. Rasyaha. Rasa we say taste generally. Taste means rasa. That means whatever food you are taking, it should have a good taste. If you don't have good taste, then the saliva secretion will not be proper. But to have taste, we add more and more spices. That will spoil. It will have, although it is spiceless, it should have a good taste. Yesterday I discussed in detail that all vegetables also have got its natural taste. So that taste has to be kept. If you cook it too much, that taste will go. It will not be there. So rasya, it should be tasty. Snigdhaha. Snigdha has come from that it should have enough of oil or ghee content in it. Why? Because that it will take the energy and distribute it all over the body. On the other hand, it should give you also an affectionate disposition. Snigdha means a very placid disposition. So if you take lot of ghee and all, you will become affectionate. It is not like that. But you should take sufficient which will allow you to have because this permeation has something to do. When you take the food which is well permeated throughout the body, it helps the brain and the mind also to grow. That is why you will find in Ayurveda, the brain treatment is done in the Ghrutapana. 1 glass of ghee you have to take every morning, medicated ghee, to inspire your neurons and all. I have not taken it. I always say that my Google engine, the search engine has gone bad. So if you tell the Ayurvedic doctors, they will say you have to do Ghrutapana. But I have not done so far. Maybe it has to be done. Rasya snigdha. Third is sthira. This is very important. Sthira means stability. After taking food, you should feel very stable. Then only it is sattvika. If you take very spicy food and then water is flowing through the eyes and nose and it's very tasty, then it is not sattvika. It is not a sthira. Sthira means stable. And not only that, sthira has got 2 meanings. One is that you should feel stable and the food should remain in the stomach for a long time. Not stomach, but it will give you sufficient time, hungerlessness. That is, it should remain stable in your body. Is it not a good food if you just take and you take a lot, within half an hour you say that I am again hungry. That is not sattvika nature. Sattvika food, generally they say that you should not take too many times also. That food you take, it should be maintaining a moderate energy level of the body for a long time. So sthira means, suppose you have got very good sattvika food. If you say that the food is sattvika, the food is very sattvic. You take triple the quantity. Then what will happen to your body? So it is not just the food. It is not amount. The reaction to your body, how much, the amount what you take and what another person will take will be different. For one person it will be only this much, for the other person it will be that much. We had a gatekeeper in our hostel who had told us that he needs 100 chapatis a day in the night. We did lot of bargaining, came down to 50 chapatis. That too thick chapati, the thickness also was told. So he used to take 50 chapatis every night, sitting there every evening. So it will be different for different people. Rasya snigdha sthira hridya. Hridya, that means which will be very good for your emotional disposition. Hridi we generally refer, hridaya means our what we call heart, not the physical heart, but our emotional center of our body is called hridaya. So it should give rise to a very good emotional richness in us, which often we lack. The Rajasika food will not be hridya, it will excite you. But hridya means it is a very, you can embrace the whole world, that kind of a liberal mindset, emotion, which will not be affected by, not be haunted by any jealousy, miserliness and all that, which will always be liberal, noble thinking and all. So this is what is the Sattvika Ahara. So we should judge from the effect on the body, whether the food, it might be, suppose payasam, very good payasam. We were once preparing in the ashram, so our Swamiji used to get all instructions from one Nambudiri. Nambudiri means the Kerala Brahmins, who was knowing lot of Vedas and scriptures and all. So Swamiji called him and said that, can you tell me a special payasam, we want to make it on the Vishnu Sahasranama. There was some function, Vishnu chanting of the children or so. So he always will go into the Shastras and after some time will come back with his suggestion. Swamiji talked in the morning and he told in the evening that, yes, I have found out. It is Vishnu Hridaya Priya Payasam or something like that. It's a long name. It starts with Vishnu. It is like our ordinary payasam, but some items are different a little. So suppose that is supposed to be a very sattvika payasam, because Vishnu himself takes it. So Vishnu is the parakashta of sattvika. He is the most sattvik we can think of. The Atma is Vishnu. So because it is sattvika, if you take 3 times the amount you generally take payasam, what will happen to you? It will not be sthira, it will not be hridya, it will not go. So it all depends on the effect on the body. That is very important. Food is important, definitely, but we have to see that what the effect it is producing. Some of the food might be very sattvika for me, but it may not suit Ma. It happens in the ashram, we have to have something different food. It suits me very well, but for Ma it is not. Or for Swamiji it is not. It is all, our cooks have great problem. All the 3 take different food. So people think that for 3 people that lady is cooking, why so much of time is spent? But the 3 people are notorious people. They take, all are taking very simple food, but each is taking different. Then comes the Rajasika, second, 9th. Katvam lalabanatyushna.
Katvam lalabanatyushna.
Katu amla becomes katvamla. Katu amla. Katvam lalabanatyushna.
Katvam lalabanatyushna.
Tikshna ruksha vidahinaha.
Tikshna ruksha vidahinaha.
Ahara rajasasyeshta.
Ahara rajasasyeshta.
Dukkha shokamaya pradaha.
Dukkha shokamaya pradaha.
he says that this kind of food is always liked by the Rajasa people, those who, in whose case the Rajoguna is at its peak. And it results in what? Dukkha, shoka, amaya. It results in suffering, grief, and amaya means diseases. Dukkha, shoka, amaya. Pradaha means it gives rise to all these three. Now what is it? This ati has to be added to everything. Katu, amla, labana, ati, ushna, tikshna, ruksha, vidahinaha. These are all there. How many? Katu, amla, labana, ushna, tikshna, ruksha, vidahinaha. 7. With each ati is to be added. Ati means the... Oh, Simrat has come. Ati means it is not moderate. That means too much. For example, salt. We need salt for a taste. A certain amount of salt will be necessary. But when it is ati, then it is not. Because Rajasika people, they will always have a liking for sharpness, which will exciting, which will basically excite them, and they are saying vidahinaha. Vidahina means which is generating lot of heat in the body and all. The stomach also may burn. Katu means atikatu. Atikatu means bitterness is good. We are supposed to take bitter gourd, neem leaf and all, but in a little measure, not too much. Then it will upset the pitta in our body. That balance, that rasa balance of the body will go according to Ayurveda. Amla means sour. Sourness is also necessary, but not too much. Then lavana, salt. That katu means bitterness, amla means sour, lavana means salty. Ushna means it can be heat also, that very hot, that people take tea, coffee, etc. Hot is necessary, but they like very hot everything. That also is not good. That's moderation actually. Rajoguna takes away the moderation from life because they are desire motivated. They are led by the desires. Then Tikshna. Tikshna means very strong, spicy, chili. Actually it is used, Tikshna is used for chili. Very strong chili. In our college we had a colleague, generally I am also from East Bengal, the present Bangladesh. They are noted for eating chili, taking lot of chili and all. I don't take, but East Bengal people are not. So he was like that. So one day we went to the market. We found that how he does the marketing. He goes to the chili selling people in the vegetable market. He will simply take one handful and put in his mouth and chew and say that it is nothing. What sort of chili you have? So when he enters the market from a distance, people will call, please come here, I have chili for you. So he would buy only like that, which he will find that it is hot. Of course, the one which he says that it is not hot at all, from there even one we cannot take. And forget about taking chili just like that. In the food also we will not be able to take. But he could digest, he could carry on with that, but he was a very Rajasic person in other way also always quarreling with others. That is the effect of the chili. So Tikshna is very rich and very strong, sharp. Ruksha means very dry. It doesn't have the, earlier they have said snigdhaha, rasyaha. It is not like that, very dry. Vidahinaha, which causes heat. Not only heat, it may generate some discomfort in the stomach also. But the stomach, after some time, for them it will become proof. So they will not know that it is causing that kind of an effect till ulceration takes place. So it will naturally lead to suffering and grief and diseases later on. In 6.17, 6 chapter 1.7, you will find Yukta Ahara Viharasya Yukta Cheshtasu Sapnasu. There Yukta word is used. It has two meanings. Normally it means moderation. That everything there should be moderation. For a seeker in his life, everything should be with a moderation, moderate. Another meaning is that Yukta means what I explained the other last 3 days, that remaining anchored in the truth, real. Then automatically you will become moderate. If your intelligence is anchored in our real identity, then automatically we will not be deviated by all these attraction and repulsion. So those are in 6.17 and further. Yatayamam gatarasam
Yatayamam gatarasam
Puti paryushitam chayat
Puti paryushitam chayat
Uchchishtam chamedhyam
Uchchishtam chamedhyam
Bhojanam tamasapriyam
Bhojanam tamasapriyam
Yatayamam gatarasam
Yatayamam gatarasam
Puti paryushitam chayat
Puti paryushitam chayat
Uchchishtam chamedhyam
Uchchishtam chamedhyam
Bhojanam tamasapriyam.
Bhojanam tamasapriyam.
Those who are ruled by the tamoguna, tamasa people, they like this kind of food. What is that? Yata yamam. It has two meanings. One is that yama means 3 hours. The period of 3 hours is called one yama. So generally, according to this, any food cooked should be taken within 3 hours. We take for 3 months also, keeping it in the deep fridge. So, but refrigerator was not there. That question was not there. But whatever, yata yama means in 3 hours the food loses the real life in it. You will find the taste difference is there. Freshly cooked food, when it is served, it has a different taste. Gata rasam. Gata rasam means it doesn't have the rasa taste. Again, taste. The original taste has gone. We say generally, this paryushitam also we say stale, but gata rasam also we can say the tasteless. The food has become tasteless. That is not only by time, keeping some time the taste may go, but otherwise also in the manner of cooking, if you burn the food, then it will be tasteless. Or if you overboil the food, then also it will be tasteless. So any overcooking done, or even the items you have used might be not fresh, tasteless, rotten and all. Puti means it is bad, foul smelling. So puti is not that wrong, it is there. Even in our places also, many food they are emitting bad smell. Paryushitam means stale. It has become stale. Uchchishtam api. See another kind of tamasaya. Uchchishtam means which is remaining, leftover food. In ashram for service we have to direct so much, but even then it is not always done to the satisfaction. That is, we say that when you are taking the food for serving, it's a mass feeding, at least 50 people are taking food every day. So in your bucket, the first there is no problem. First service in the bucket you do. But the second service when you do, don't fill the bucket. Take only that much which might be necessary according to your judgment. So that when you have served, for the next batch, that bucket should become empty. It should be filled with fresh food. A food served in the first batch, whatever is remaining in the leftover part of in the bucket, it is not good. Try to avoid and serve it, take only that much which will be served. And then the next batch, when they come, again with fresh food, you fill the bucket. Then, if you have a doubt that sambar so much will not be used, you right after cooking, take another vessel and fill that vessel. The sambar can be kept in that which you feel that it may not be used now, it will be necessary in the night. Don't keep the sambar which is left over from the lunch, keep it for dinner, don't do it. You keep some portion extra, and suppose you need a little more, you take from there a little. With a clean vessel, you take from there. So that you are preserving that is not touched by, repeatedly taken by spoon or touched by us, or even repeatedly open to our vision also. It should not be. It should be properly kept, which is not come under anybody's vision also. It will kept very pure in a proper manner. These are habits which if you develop, and if you develop Sattva Guna, you will find automatically you will know. Nobody will have to tell you that it has to be done in this manner. Your mind will tell you that no, this is not the way to serve the proper pure food. Or when the food is becoming impure also, you will come to know automatically. The Sattva Guna, that senses will become, that jnana will, as we have discussed yesterday, that they will have the knowledge of knowing exactly what is happening. Seeing that itself, you will be feeling that. Now we have supervisors and all in the kitchen. Our ashram people are not able to manage everything, so supervisors are there. And we have plenty of WhatsApp groups. So the kitchen supervisor is supposed to give all the pictures in the WhatsApp group. So although I am not involved in the Annakshetra, but sometimes seeing the food kept for, that the extra food kept for the servant, I will send a remark that this is not the way. The vessels are all looking very dirty, as if it is a leftover food. Please keep them in a proper vessel in a nice manner. Just because it is extra and we are giving it to the servants, you cannot give it in this manner. Whenever we are giving something, it should be given in a proper manner, as we will also take. We should not neglect the dana. That is, here also it is there. Dana also is 3 kinds. When you are gifting, 3 kinds are there. What is sattvika giving, what is rajasika giving, what is tamasa giving. There also that enough of care and feeling has to be there in filling it. So, uchishtam is considered to be impure. Not uchishtam, generally we say that whatever is left over in the plate, there also it is taken. That is the first uchishta. But even leaving as a leftover food is also sort of uchishta. And still higher uchishta, subtle uchishta, is when somebody has seen or tasted the food. In ashram or in a temple, the cook is not supposed to taste. He has to know from his knowledge that this much of salt will be added, this much of sweet is bitter. You cannot taste it and then say, because it is becoming uchishta there. Even while cooking, if you say that my son likes this payasam very much, it becomes uchishta according to the subtle law. That means in your mind there is a feeling that I could have fed my son, but son is not there at that time. That is, any kind of an attraction or similarly repulsion also should not be there. It has to be, that is the purity of the mind. And such food also will be pure. Uchishtamapi cha amedhyam. Amedhyam means which cannot be used in the yajna. Or you can say puja. That means such food which cannot be offered to the God we worship, or the yajna we perform, homa we perform, should not be eaten by us. In Ramayana you will find that when Rama hit Bali, in Sugriva and Bali, Rama killed Bali. Bali's word was that, why did you kill me? I am Vanara and we are amedhya. That means we are not, our flesh cannot be taken by anybody. Because that Vanara, the monkey flesh is not taken generally. So that word is there. That is amedhya, means which is not, cannot be offered to puja or homa or so. That food cannot be eaten by us also, amedhya. But the tamasa people will take it. Because they don't bother about what is said or what is the general norm, good norms. They will not follow the Shastras also. So these are the Jatayamam Gatarasam Puti Parjushitam Jayat Uchishtam Chamai Amedhyam. 6. So this is about food. Now tomorrow, time is already over. Tomorrow I will go over to how to get over the bondage created by all the gunas. I have told earlier also, but the shlokas we will do. And from Bhagavatam also, Srimad Bhagavatam has very good shlokas regarding that, where we will know the surrender part very well. If possible, if time permits, then I will discuss the Chaturvarna, which is very, very, what do you call it? Debated and malign and whatnot, the Chaturvarna concept of our Shastras. The real meaning I would like to explain the last day, and how the Chaturvarna also reaches its highest spiritual level. What is the meaning of that? Where actually the saint, the real knower, becomes at once, he is the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. All are applicable to the saint. Because what are the basic characteristics of these Varnas? Varna is different from Jati. Jati is the caste difference, it is hereditary. Whereas Varna is the distribution of the qualities in one. What is the distribution of the 3 qualities for the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, according to the qualities. And our Shastras, they divide whole nature also into 4 Varnas. That is, suppose there is a murti they have to make. This I have known from a sculptor. That one murti has to be made. They will find out that it is for Sattvika worship or Rajasika worship or Tamasika worship. Because there are many people who worship the goddess for black magic and all. That is considered to be Tamasika. Whereas those who are worshipping Vishnu for all good purposes and all, that is Sattvika Devata. So what kind of a murti, what kind of an idol they have to make, depending on that they have to choose the stone. So these sculptors have a categorization of the stones. Something is called Sattvika stone, something is called Rajasika, like that they have the 3 kinds of stone. And they have to find out that particular stone. Those were traditional sculptors. Just like that they cannot take anything and do it. Similarly, we used to categorize our kittens also, which is Sattvika, which is Rajasika, which is Tamasika. I used to give name also accordingly that. We had a General Kariyappan also. Rajasika, black cat was there. I named her General Nahi. Kariyappan, the famous, our military head general. Particularly because he was black. But that finally, he was looking after the other kittens. The other kittens would be kept in the cardboard box. And this fellow will sit on the cardboard box. And if one tries to get up, it will push them back. So, very good watchman. We have lot of stories about animals in the ashram. In our website we would like to put, all have not been put, still many are there. The cats, squirrels, birds, peacocks, cows, dog. We had a dog, very sattvic in nature. So Swamiji had named her Nirmala. Hey, Nirmala is there. Named her Nirmala. Now that dog, she was equally devoted to Swamiji and me. So when it was we were living in a cottage where the central room was Swamiji, and a side veranda-like thing, there I was staying, another back veranda-like thing where Ma was staying, and we had one room for the office work. This was our cottage, this 2-room cottage, and a veranda in front. Our all work used to be done on the veranda, sitting on the veranda, keeping things on the parapet, we used to work. So the morning, early morning, if I open my door first, it will come running to me and then roll around my leg and I'll do all that. If Swamiji happens to open by then run to Swamiji again. Roll around there, then it cannot neglect me also. Come here, roll and go there. So repeatedly it oscillate between two, like that. She was a very pure-hearted dog. Similarly, one kitten was there. She was named Sukanya. That we had told Swamiji that it is not interested in running after to marry or so. So maybe it will become a brahmacharin. So Swamiji had promised that if he remains a brahmacharin, we will give her sannyasa. So finally it remained brahmacharin, but when it died quite young. So we told Swamiji that you had promised that you will give sannyasa. Swamiji said yes. So we had put garwa, orange cloth, on that we put her body, then put chandana, the sandalwood and all that, giving, chanting the Brahma mantras and all. Whenever our prostration will go on, Pushpa Samarpanam or prostration this is Pushpa Samarpanam. It will come and sit near Swamiji. The moment Swamiji sits, it will get into the lap. And it would take the pranam of all others, that as if they are prostrating before her. So nodding them and doing Ashirvad, blessing all the people who are prostrating at Swamiji's feet. So then we started putting a cloth on Swamiji's lap so that she can safely sit there without spoiling the cloth, dhoti. Back to Eternity is there on Sukanya. Stories are there about our other cats. It is there, must be. Very good cats were there. We had named them also Sushila, Charushila. They were very well behaved. Sheila has come from Sushila and Charushila, two sisters were there. They were given to a wholesaler merchant who wanted some kitten who can kill rats. So that is the only members who got employed. All others remain in the ashram. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nitya bodhasvarupam param nischalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sadanusmarami pranomi prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nitya bodhasvarupam param nischalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sadanusmarami pranomi. Hari.